If by chance you are dreaming right now, wake up! Welcome to Horror Nights! Welcome everybody to Horror Nights! We're back. It's Tuesday. We got Zool with us, and we got MMH Productions. And tonight, well, we're talking horror movies, of course, but this one's caught my eye. I watched a little bit of it today, and I have to say it was very unique right off the bat. And it also follows something that I would say I'm interested as a plot, beautiful plot. And we will talk all about that. But welcome to the show.
Thank you very
Welcome
much.
both of you.
Thank you.
I see you have a friend with you. Who's your friend?
Yes, this is Bozo the Clown. He is the mascot of MMH Productions. He's been in over 100 of our movies, and he's killed a couple people. So he's been around the town, but
I believe he's killed a few people. Look at him.
Are you seeing this, Zool?
I see him. I'm well aware of Bozo. I've met Bozo in person, and I believe he's killed people. I believe it.
To me, that looks more demonic than any Robert, any
Terrifying.
Annabelle. Like that
Terrifying
thing
little
right there. Yes, that thing would like pull me under my bed at night and poltergeist me. I'm afraid.
Really, Matthew never does movies without him. I don't think so. I think he's in every movie.
Yeah, just about.
That's like that Twilight Zone episode. Maybe he's in charge. Maybe he's the director, the clown, and he's just like, look,
director.
Okay, who's the dummy now, dummy?
Matthew's just a big flesh puppet for Bozo.
He's just a shill, nothing more. No, I love it though. I love that you've even taken it to that level. It goes to show whether it's an independent film or a major blockbuster film. A, you can have fun with it, but also B, that it's your world. You've created it.
Yes.
You've created this clown here, and this clown has a story, and he has stories and a backstory and all this stuff. And I love it. I love that creative mind that goes into it. I think, all movies have a creative, sense, but I find horror to be the most creative for me because you're taking topics that might be uneasy, might be hard to talk about, or feelings, emotions, and you're making it into something that's both obviously scary, but it's also entertaining because it keeps people, wanting to keep watching. It's not something that a lot of people say, oh my God, I'm never going to watch. No, they want to see the finale.
That is definitely the thing that I think Matthew has captured with his movies is his ongoing storyline. He's created a world. It's been fascinating to watch that unfold before me. So what a privilege to have been part of your makeup team on Joseph's Revenge, which is coming out soon.
Yes.
That's the part 2, the sequel to Nightmares Unleashed is Nightmares Unleashed 2, Joseph's Revenge. That'll be debuting when?
May 30th at Atlas Lakeshore Cinema 7 in Euclid, Ohio.
Okay, fantastic. So people are going to come out and see that. That is an amazing story.
I'm going to have to send you out there, Zool, to the premiere. You're going to have to do a little premiere coverage, right?
I plan to attend. I don't plan to miss it because I did a lot of the makeup for this movie.
Yeah.
So I really want to see
that's
my
what you
work
were,
on the big screen.
That's what you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
You did some of the makeup. But let's go back before the sequel, before you can even have a sequel, you have,
to have
a
an
first
original.
movie. And even before you had your original, you had a short film, which I find to be the way to go because, I always say this to people, and I use George Lucas as an example. You can put a movie out, and then you can wait 20, 30 years and do what you want to do with that movie, like he did with Star Wars. He put out his movie as best he could, and then when he had the money, budget, and technology, he remastered it. And the same thing can happen in horror. You put out a short film. You've done it. Damon Leone did it with Terrify. He put out a little short, then he put out an anthology, and he worked his way up to a feature. It doesn't have to just be a feature all at once. Things can happen in steps. And I love that about the process because we all have these, like unique ideas, right? We might be sitting there driving or we might be doing something and we have this great story in our head. Write it down. It's a great short story. It might transcend into a great short, but then every once in a while, you get one of these shorts and you're like, I want more out of it. I want to see it stretched. I want to see it as a feature.
Yeah. So
Yep.
yeah,
Wow.
the teasers, those are great. And how many movies have you produced, Matthew?
We are about to hit over 290 since 2017. So we're at the cusp of hitting 290.
Wow.
Wow.
That's impressive.
Impressive for
Thank you.
sure. And have you written all of these movies, or what percentage of them have you
Uh,
written yourself?
I've written about, yeah, I've basically written them all. I had people who like had ideas, and then I wrote it for film, and then we took a couple like stories from books with the author, and then I rewrote those for film. But everything MMH I've written, edited, directed, and all that.
See, you're a
Fantastic.
one-man show over there.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
In all
Really.
aspects. But
Just
see,
a
that's another
brilliant,
thing I love about indie film is
gifted
because
mind to be
people
able to
that
do
are
all of that.
people that do get into it, like even me, I'm starting to dabble into it. You end up becoming a jack of all trades at first because you end up doing it all yourself. And then later, if you get the luxury to hire in people to do all these things, that's cool. But in the beginning, you are playing all the roles, and you get to
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of just
And then
see
you
what
know
it
what
feels
to
like.
expect of your staff because you can demand the quality of work that you would do if you were doing it all yourself.
And you
If
can
you can do
understand the
it-
language because
Yes.
everything has their own
Yes.
little lingo. So you can jive with the freaking sound people. You can jive with the
Exactly.
colorists. You can play around with everybody, and everybody
I
knows
think
what
it
you're
makes you a
talking about.
well-rounded director to have
Yeah, you sound
done
like you're
so much
smart.
work on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when did you start all this? What how old were you, let's say?
We had in 7th grade, our English teacher was like, write a script and you get bonus points if you actually film it. So I did like a Puppet Master fan film in 7th grade. Everyone thought they were mine because no one knew what the hell it was back in that, all kids my age, because I grown up with all the older stuff. But I shot that in 7th grade out with like my cousins and stuff. And then eventually they had a summer program in high school, like my freshman year. And then I went back there my junior and senior year, half day there, half day at my regular high school, where I learned basically everything junior, senior year. And that's where I fully started MMH Productions. But I
That's
did my
amazing.
first film in 7th grade.
That's phenomenal. That's
That's
just
awesome.
mind-blowing. You were a child prodigy, man.
Yeah,
That's
thank you. Yeah.
amazing.
And the only thing we had to film was my mom's like 90s VHS camcorder. So
Your mom is such a huge part
Oh,
of
yeah.
your film life. She shows up at every production as well, and she plays such a huge role in being a stage assistant in every aspect. She's amazing. She's an amazing woman. It's great that you have such wonderful support behind you to live your dreams that way. That's cool.
Oh yeah, the whole family supports it, and basically everyone in the family has been in the film or a film somehow, so it all works out.
That's
Everybody gets a cameo.
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
That is amazing stuff. So where are your films available at? Where can we see these?
A lot are on YouTube. We used to have almost everything on YouTube, but last summer our channel got taken down and terminated, so we lost all the videos and content on YouTube. So we're slowly re-uploading everything again. It's just time-wise, I'm just deciding not to upload a lot of the stuff. And then
why did they take it down? Because of the horror?
no, they said it was for nudity, but we really didn't have any, and I didn't get any warnings or nothing. It was just like right away.
Oh,
And
Yeah,
then-
no, they don't play around. I mean, I
No.
got a really harsh strike. I did a little skit during Halloween season. I was fully clothed. I was dressed up. I was cosplaying Leatherface, and I have this like skeleton. I did like this dry hump, and then threw the skeleton in the other way. And I thought nothing of it, and I put it up as a short. And about 3 hours later, I got a hard strike.
Damn.
I couldn't post for like 7 days. I had to take a some sexual course. I had to do all this stuff, and it was very, very, very just because of just that. And I could see that happening. But I think, and I'm afraid because I have horror movies obviously that I've done, but I'm very kind of nervous to put all of it up onto YouTube just because they are so censored. I know
Yeah.
Vimeo is a little bit more uncensored as far as what they allow, but even then, it's like at some point I'm gonna have to like get my own website so I can just host my own stuff.
Yeah, so what I also do besides the YouTube is a lot of the films are on like DVDs I make at home too. And if they're like short films, I'll do like combo pack DVDs with like multiple shorts on it. Or
Yeah.
the features get their own DVDs, and then we have some stuff on Troma Now, and then
Oh,
we're
nice. You're on the new
Yep.
Troma Now
well, I
app.
got like
Sweet.
10 projects on Troma Now,
That is
and I'm
so
Oh,
cool.
shoot
slowly
me what if you
working.
can shoot at the end. Shoot what you got on there because I just actually signed up to that.
Oh,
And I've
okay.
been
Oh, well,
seeing
yeah.
like all these people that I know that have done
That is so
independent
cool.
stuff
Yeah.
popping up on there. I'm like, that's I know that guy. Oh, I know that guy. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
we're-
great.
I'm working on getting Nightmares Unleashed 1 first on like Tubi streaming services through like Film Hub and things, and just working through that before
Do
I.
you have any physical distribution for that one?
Nightmares Unleashed I just finished the DVDs. It's coming. There's a 3-disc version and a
Ooh.
1-disc version. The 3-disc just has 2 extra discs of bonus features, and a bunch of other stuff. Because I upload all the bonus features, like all the behind the scenes bloopers,
That is cool.
commentary, and then every single bonus feature from the original short film is on there also. But
Oh,
the
awesome.
one disc has the film, the short film, and a few other things. Kaufman's intro and some other stuff involved.
That's cool. You got how did you end up meeting Kaufman to get the intro to do that? That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I've met Kaufman at a couple conventions before, and I went through like 2-3 people to try to get his information to be in the films. And eventually I just went through him directly, and he gave me his number and his personal number and email. So I reached out to him, and he's been in probably 10 of my films also.
You never know till you take the shot.
Oh, yeah.
No,
make
it's
sure-
true.
I totally walked up on Mick Foley at the Horror Hound this weekend. He had nobody at his table, and he happened to be in our aisle. And I walked up to him, and I just said, "Hey, man, been a fan of yours since I was a wee little girl." He said, "You want a selfie together?" And I was like, "Do I?" So yeah,
Who was that?
That's how I met Mick Foley. Mick Foley.
Oh, yeah.
I met Mick Foley this
I'm
weekend.
taking it that his handler wasn't there. I tried that in Jersey, and his handler was like, "Yeah, you can have a selfie for $100."
Yeah, no, he brushed his handlers off. He brushed them off and just kind of.
I like when they do that.
And it was cool. It was the coolest moment of my life. I was like, wow, this is
Sometimes I
neat.
wish the cons didn't have handlers and the guests just did their own because
But
I feel like
I talked to him
handlers would
about
jack the
our
prices.
I talked to him about our Gorgeous Girls Gore Fest in June and invited him, and ironically it happens to be on his birthday weekend, so he can't come, but he sat there and had a whole conversation with me about Gore Fest. And like most pleasant man. Oh, what a charmer. He is just the greatest. But yeah, you never know till you take your shot whether or not you might succeed in scoring a celebrity to do something.
I mean, at the end of the day, celebrities are like you and I.
They're just people. They're just
and
people.
if they think something's cool or if they think something's interesting, and I mean, honestly, a lot of those Troma people, they're great. I saw them all over the last weekend. Kaufman was there, and I sat and talked with a lot of them. Mark Torgel, people that were in, Toxic Avenger and such, and these movies were made with the spirit of let's do something fun. And it didn't have to be so serious. So I think like they're apt to give a lot of
small.
But I feel like these guys and girls are apt to give independent directors and people a little bit of a chance and say, "Hey, let's see what you can do. It's okay.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
doesn't
that's
have to
how-
be a masterpiece."
Yeah, that's how we are for MMH Productions also. We've had multiple people start off with the company, acting and crew-wise. Like we've had more kids start with us in the area than most people because we just give everyone their start. We've had people with all physical and mental disabilities get their start with us, and then because it's harder for them to get roles, so I'll just write them in the film.
Even
So a lot, yeah.
We just
you
had an
still like
interview
change
with
the
him.
script and cater the film to them.
Oh yeah, and then I'll change it. Like we had one kid who he couldn't walk right, so we made him like a crawling zombie instead.
Oh wow, that's awesome that you make it.
T-Rex
Oh, yeah, he
Talents did
yeah, he
makeup. We had
Yeah.
T-Rex Talents on the show a while back, and T-Rex Talents did some makeup with you on Joseph on the first one on Nightmares Unleashed 1. So
Yeah, she did stuff for that one. Our Drugula, the original Drugula, and then she played her teddy bear character in Krampus 2 for us as well.
that's really cool. That's really cool.
But I mean, I just like the whole premise, the whole plot of the movie. Somebody going through various horror films or various horror scenes or something. There used to be an '80s, well, it wasn't '80s, it was '90s film. I'm gonna forget the name of it, but uh,
Someone's asking us a question in the comments. They want to know what my favorite classic horror and indie film is and why. So my favorite classic horror film is hands down Poltergeist. I love Poltergeist. There's just something very emotional about the movie the first time I saw it. The child trapped within the walls, and she could feel her spirit move through her, and like that was such an emotional scene. And then the fact when you learn the facts behind the movie, like how they used actual corpses in the pool scene instead of because they were cheaper than mannequins, and things like that. It's just and then the lore behind it, how
but do you think that
tragic lore behind it, just
well,
all
do you
of it.
think because they used the real corpses, the tragedies
I
did
do.
befall?
I think
Poor
that it had
Carrie
something
Ann,
to do.
the little girl, the actor, she didn't live long, but
Absolutely terrible what happened to her. And then my favorite indie film, I gotta say, I think Tire, the one with the tire that just went bananas and killed people. It was such a simple premise. Such a simple
Maximum
film.
Overdrive with just one piece.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like such a simple movie, but it was so good and so well done and comical at the same time. It was horrific to think about that a tire just goes beneath because shit like that happens. You're driving down the freeway and here comes a wheel rolling past you, because it fell off a car. What if it was possessed and it just keeps going? Wild. I love it. So I'd say those are my two favorite classic horror and my favorite indie.
Very
So
good.
what's yours, Matthew? What's your favorite classic horror film?
My favorite film is probably The Willies, 1990, or Killer Clowns from Outer Space, 88, or Puppet Master vs. Demonic Toys.
Nice.
But yeah, The Willies is what got me into the fully making the movies too. So a lot of like references from other films. We include quotes from The Willies. We redid the poster that The Willies did for another film. So it comes up here and there and stuff too.
Very cool. And I was just thinking about that scene from Nightmares Unleashed and how it pairs kind of reminds me of Poltergeist with the snowy TV. And she puts her hands on the snowy TV and then something comes out through the TV. That was unexpected. That was unexpected for something to come out through the TV.
That took a long time to get editing.
That had been a difficult scene to film. I'd love to know the movie magic behind it, but I don't know if you want to give up those secrets as to how.
I mean, so a lot of the stuff we do is practical the best I can.
Yeah, I know you use a lot of practical effects, so that's why I'm curious about that.
The editing part took hours and hours to get that perfectly right for the first film. And then there's two TVs we have. One is an actual working VHS TV, so we can actually put the tape into a VCR and get the static look. And then the second TV is destroyed, and we have this stretchy fabric in it. So when I reach out to the fabric, I can do it. Then I cut the fabric out, and I'll come out the TV, and then I have to frame by frame I have to put VHS like footage over myself. I have to line it up perfectly with me.
Green screen technology type thing.
And then frame by frame match it up. But the first film we had no green screens; it was all black. So I had to go each little frame.
Yeah, a little basically.
Oh wow, so detailed. That's crazy, but it came out fabulously. It really did.
It took forever, but it was
fantastic job on that, and that was a really, really that was impressive. So I wanted to know, like, how did that happen?
Yeah, and then for part two, it was even harder when we do another scene like that, and there's a mirror behind the girl's head, so I have to do each keyframe on myself, and I have to do it in the mirror at the same time to combine them so they're matching.
Oh,
so when I noticed the mirror was there, I was like, well, now I have to do double, but I did it where it sizzles out, so I'm not doing it the whole time. So like the one 2/3 of the way through, it like goes back to normal because doing it the whole time would have taken way longer. But
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
able to do
that's
a lot of
crazy.
it that way.
That's amazing. That's very clever of you. I mean, like the work in progress of that, discovering things and after filming that you didn't know were there until after you filmed it, and then having to work around that, going, oh shit, we already filmed this scene, and there's totally a mic right there.
But no, I'm
You
finally came to me in the movie.
or something like that, and then
When I
trying
was
to figure out how
watching it,
to
when I was
crop the
watching it
frame.
today, it finally came to me. Stay tuned. It kind of gave me the Stay Tuned vibes, where like somebody's going through various different like movies, or different scenes within scenes, and you kind of break a meta. And I like films like that because it's almost in an anthology format. 'Cause you get to see different aspects or different, like I said, different scenes within films that you normally might not see in just one film. One film might have two locations, a house and maybe a driving scene. But
Right.
if you have a bunch of different little movies or mini scenes within that
So
someone's
many
trying to
different
get through,
scenes. How do
you
you
can go,
find all those
one in the
scenes?
snow, one in that.
Yeah. Well, I know about the Poltergeist idea. I also saw stuff from Videodrome for
Okay.
like the TV feel for it, and then Spookies is another film where it's all like the different type of monsters that come, which is another thing. But
So
each
those were your
little
inspirations.
but yeah, but each one has like a different like. The original idea also was supposed to be for like the Vampire Masquerade was actually gonna be musical horror. So we were actually gonna write songs for Azazel the Vampire and Misty the Spider Mistress to actually sing songs in the film. And we actually started writing some, but last minute we just cut that part out and we just left it like the dancing scene instead of the singing parts. It
Okay.
was almost supposed to be full musical horror. But location wise, I know for the first one we had the Haunted Hydro and Mohican Haunted Schoolhouse, and then we had the
So you use a lot of the haunted houses
yeah,
locally.
and then Hen Mansion was for the vampire scene and some
Very
other places
cool.
I know, and my great grandma has the farm with the cornfield. And then part 2, we do a little part in Haunted Hydro before they sold it. So when we shot part 1, I had part 2 already written parts. So when we finished part 1 shooting, we shot a few scenes in part 2 while we were there before they sold the house because we wouldn't be able to go back. And then
Right.
the big location we got for part 2 was Factory of Terror in Canton. And about like maybe 60-70% of the film is throughout the Factory of Terror in different
Yeah,
locations.
they're huge. They have a lot of scenery there.
Oh yeah, and then we
Oh.
had the cornfield scene come back, the gazebo came back, and another wood scene. But it was another way for us to, because a lot of it's flashbacking to when before I become the evil jester, is it's where Joseph got the idea to make the area she gets into. So we see where he's experienced in his real life, recreates it in his world.
Now,
Okay.
you mentioned earlier that some of the movies or some of the stuff comes from books and such, but most of it, you're right. Is Nightmares Unleashed all from your mind? Is that something that you've created totally?
Yeah, when I did the short film from 2018 for my Cuyahoga Valley Career Center, it was like my high school senior project I did for them. I was doing outside of school, but I just incorporated for in school because how mass back in high school era that was for it too. Because we even got we shot at Playhouse Square for the original one, and then but I don't know how it came up one day like to do the film. It just like popped in the head one day to complete it. And then Joseph as well and things like that. Like I had a jester
Very
costume
cool.
and some other stuff, but then it's creating the different monsters come like I don't know where Misty the Spider Mistress came from the original, but she's like my favorite monster in the film. So that's why
She's a really cool monster too.
that's why for the remake we went full spider prosthetics on her face as well for it.
Yeah. That was a fun one to
yeah.
do. That
But
was
yeah,
a
a lot
fun
of
one.
the films just pop up in my mind, and a lot of stuff is bringing things to life, like Full Moon did with the puppets and dolls. So I have a lot of stuff where dolls coming to life, and then we have stuff
Puppets.
like Trauma also, because there's like the big 2 production companies that inspire me the most.
Yep.
A lot of it is like we had like a washing machine kill someone, an air fryer, a toaster, a blender, all
Yes,
sorts of
the air
appliances.
fryer.
Just
I'm
have
glad you
weird
brought that
stuff
up.
happening, and it just, I think there's a whole niche market for just
Oh yeah, over the top gore and
inanimate objects
everything.
to
Yeah.
kill.
Yeah, always over the top with the gore. I don't like doing CGI or CGI, basically blood. We
You
did it like
do.
once, but
You do
it was like,
phenomenal practical effects. You have a great makeup team.
First of
Oh,
all,
yeah.
Ron
Boy
George
should
does a
never
lot of
really.
your practical effects, and he showed me something from the air fryer movie. What's the movie called where the
air fryer slaughter was that,
air
but yeah,
fryer
Ron's like
yeah, he's the go-to
I call
guy.
him basically the goat for MMH for everything
He
we've done.
is. He is the
He's
wizard
done most of
locally
the stuff
here
for
in
us.
Ohio for special effects, practical effects. He did some on Meat, and he did some
Okay.
on Nightmares Unleashed, and he did some on. But yeah,
He's done a lot of our projects since like 2019.
he
He's been
showed
with us.
me something from that movie in particular
It
that was
was probably either
R-rated.
the face melting scene or
No, it was
the
the
girl
bathtub.
getting eaten in the shower. Yeah, so we had the air fryer with the girl in the shower, and he like jumps at her, and then the next shot he's like, "We're allowed to swear on here."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So
a
he's
horror
like,
shot.
the air fryer monster is at her vagina, pussy, and it's eating her through the inside. And then we see all the guts fall into the tub. And then the next shot is air fryer's pulling out the
So
intestines out of her
gruesome.
vagina. And then we also have like a newborn baby come out of it also that he ate.
Yeah.
Oh
It
So
was
shit! It's
fucking
just
gruesome. I
yeah,
got
like
to
you said,
see
over
it's
the
a very
top
messed
gore.
up, gnarly.
the
Yeah, it's a
behind the
very bad
scenes
scene.
were the makeup artists behind the scenes photos of this step by step.
Yeah,
And I was like,
yeah, and I have her prosthetic vagina still in my house, so that's cool.
so wild.
That's a movie
Wild.
prop right there.
Yeah, I got a bunch of different penises, the vaginas. I have a head of myself and some other body parts. So
The head is so dope. I love the head of yourself. The head we don't want to give anything away with, but it was really, really cool. It's
yeah,
a
I mean
really cool,
they did a good job making it.
perfect
I was
head.
gonna use it for future films also, but it's just like that.
Yes.
So
I love it.
That's
There
nice.
he is.
yeah,
Now let me ask you, ballpark, what's the average budget of these films?
a lot of it is a lot of the times it's no budget because when we do like back in the day, like we used to have like a guerrilla film group idea where me and my friends would get together every weekend and just shoot something with the camcorder. That's how we ranked up so many throughout the years because we would just get together, think of a random horror film, and just shoot it with the camcorder. We used to do like weekends, 5 films in a weekend.
Yeah,
So a lot of those are just like, here are the props and costumes we have. We'll keep reusing them.
everything's just impromptu.
But yeah, but
Bam,
as soon as years go by, it's starting to get more quality over quantity because I've dimmed down how many I do every year to focus on the bigger stuff. I think Nightmares 1 might have cost me because I did like a kick campaign for it, but we only raised like 500 for it, and I probably spent over 5,000 of my own money making it, which is basically like paycheck after paycheck, get the paycheck and just paycheck's gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dumping
And
it
Nightmares
into your
Nightmares 2
dreams.
is the same way because I think Nightmares 2 alone spent over $1,000 on just the food budget for catering for everyone every shoot.
Yeah,
because we
you kept
get
everybody
so
well
many, but-
fed. You were
But you
that's
have to. I mean, otherwise,
Yeah,
no
so
one's gonna want
when
to
we're
work
trying
for
to do
you.
like we're trying to get some funding for part
it was a
2,
very
but
professional set to work on. I worked
Oh,
on
yeah.
several sets, and I would say that yours was one of the more professional sets that I've ever worked on, and it was very well done. We felt well taken care of. You're a very generous producer and director, and take good care of your staff, and I
Oh,
think that's wonderful.
yeah,
That's
because
why when we had this opportunity to bring somebody on the show, I definitely wanted to bring you aboard because I was like, this guy deserves a shout out for sure.
I know a lot of the stuff with the production companies also is while we do keep it professional, it's like when we have kids on the set too, I'm really good with working with younger actors on sets because I think every film basically like Nightmares Unleashed 1 and 2 both had scenes where we had a bunch of kids on set. So part 2, there's like a Krampus scene and all these kids are a bunch of elves. So I've throughout the years, a lot of people also ask me questions on how to work with kids better because a lot of people don't like working with kids. Like it's a rule where
Right.
don't work pets
It's
or kids.
difficult. It's
And I'm the
challenging.
total opposite where it's like I'll have a kid on every film shoot. And we've had like the youngest star was 4 years old before. So I've killed a 4-year-old child. I've had a baby on set we shot a thing for. I'm getting my goddaughter into it. So we put her in
That's
Nightmares Unleashed
cool.
2 at 4 years old. and she was the voice of the baby air fryer, just the voice for part at the very end of it. So I just had her say, "All right, repeat after me. I like killing people," and then she did it in her voice, just back and forth. So,
That's great.
I love working with kids because they're also creepy, and people they're hard
Kids
to
are
work.
evil, okay?
Yeah, they say it's hard to work with, but
They're
I
so
also
natural.
I'm a kid at heart too, though. So
They
if
have
I'm
a
not,
natural affinity
yeah,
for
They,
evil.
they might be hard to work with if you try to direct them in a certain way, but if you let them just act natural in certain aspects, they end up doing better than what you can
Oh
write.
yeah.
oh yeah, and then they have so
Kids are
much energy.
phenomenal.
So like we'll be shooting a scene, like we shot another film, and then we took like a 20-minute break and we just played like kickball soccer, just to get their energy out and just have fun on set, and then we went back to filming.
That's
Because
so
I'm a
cool.
kid at heart, so it's like if you're gonna work with kids, you got to also know
Absolutely,
what
you
it's
gotta make
like.
it fun. You gotta make it fun. I
There's
worked
so many
with a
people
lot of
who work,
kids.
yeah, because so many people, if you go on one bad sit as a kid, you're not gonna want to do it again. And I've heard a lot of stories from filmmakers and
Absolutely.
other parents who said, "Hey, they're
It
done
doesn't have
acting
to be
because
an
this person
unpleasant
Well,
ruined
I
it."
mean,
experience
let's
for
be
them.
honest. We hear a lot of horror stories come out of Hollywood about child actors, and we don't
Yeah.
Yeah.
know the truth. But a lot of them, regardless of forget about all the sexuality bullshit, but just the
The experience
well,
itself,
the experience
the
of just
long
how
hours,
pushy
the
people were
demand
and
Yeah,
and
yeah.
them
to
treating the kids
perform.
like the adults. And it's like, yeah, in some aspect, yes, but no. Like these are children. You can't make them work 16-hour days. Like,
No, no.
Right.
and so it's great that you give a lot of people that a good experience coming in. So like they're more apt to want to like pursue that if
Continue to
that's what they
pursue
want to
that.
do.
Oh,
To
yeah,
follow
and
their
then
dreams too.
we
You
made sure,
are
like, the
you are
time schedule.
creating the future of
Yeah.
the industry.
Well, it is because
And
I
that's
mean, like I'm a
amazing.
big fan. Like I went out and I met all the kids from Welcome to Derry, and they're all little kids to me, but they were all great in that movie, and kids have always played, weapons involved. That movie was great. It did kids. Children of the Corn had kids. I just met them as later adults, but
They grew up kind of rough, it
kids,
sounds like.
yes, well, they
The
had some
children of
rough
the
growing
corn aren't
up,
doing
but
so good. The corn is bad.
yeah. Well, the lady was doing okay. She just liked to talk, but I invited her to our show. She liked to talk so much.
That's
Um,
fabulous.
she'll get back, but Robbie was a little rough, I have to say. But you know what? I think in general, some of that is the pressure. You start doing a bunch of stuff in Hollywood. He was in Monster Squad. You do all these things, and it just becomes a lot of pressure as a kid. And you
It
end up cracking
is.
because
It's a lot
you're
of
not an
pressure on
adult yet.
adults. It's a lot of pressure on adults to do that.
Yeah, but
It's
at
a lot of
least an
pressure to
adult can.
perform.
But
Um,
as an adult, you can turn around and say, you know what? Fuck you. I'm out. I quit. I'm
or
done.
or this
As
is
a
what
kid,
I
it's
signed up
like,
for and buckle up and do it. The kid
yeah,
didn't even
or
sign
mom and
up.
dad are there like, you're gonna finish this. This is our way of retirement.
Yeah.
And I
So
think that's the other reason why people don't want to work with kids is because every kid that came in that con had, at least one parent had to come in with them. So you
right.
have to have the adults, and I'm guessing that's the same on set. They have to have a parent
Yep.
or a guardian on set.
Yeah.
So it increases, if you have like 20 kids, you got 20 parents also on set. It increases everything.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then it's also
Doubles the costs.
double. We have to get double. Budgeting for the food is
Plus,
increased.
they eat.
Yeah,
They
everything.
eat. Like they eat more
Kids
than the
eat
adults.
a
Yeah,
lot.
and the kids got lucky on Nightmares because it was our final shoot of the whole film. So we even brought out I had like that's a wrap cake also at the end.
Oh,
All
that's
the kids got to
fantastic.
actually enjoy the final
What
film,
happy
final
kiddos.
shoot in the cake.
What a big happy memory for those kids to have, and what a pleasurable experience for them to have had in
But
in
that's
the
what I'm saying. Like,
industry.
even you doing all that, like, you have to be doing this for the right reasons. You weren't doing it to,
Yeah.
flip this into the next $1 million quick blockbuster and screw everybody.
No.
It's like you have passion making film and
Oh,
putting
yeah.
stories into, video format.
Genuine good boy.
Well, no, I always like to find the directors or the actors or the people that are in this for that passion because, yes,
Yeah.
it's great to make money and it's great
Those
to
are the
become
people I
rich.
love to work with and I seek to work with. I've worked with a few different directors, and the ones I like to work with and want to work with again are usually the ones that I'll bring to this show and that we'll talk to, because they're the ones that I found they have a passion for the industry and they have a passion for the art. And they're doing good things. They're doing brilliant good things. I want to share that with everybody. So
That's the beauty of it, because I think, These are the people that should. Unfortunately, we live in a world where negativity sometimes takes front and center of everything, and the good people get pushed aside because the bad
Yeah.
people have done something.
And that's the
So
purpose of shows
and I'm
like
all
this, is
about
to bring the good
spotlighting the
forward.
good people.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
So
and then about the thing where you were talking about in it not in it for the money or whatever. That's the same way like when I do like Chroma Now and stuff is like I'm gonna get what 5-10 cents, but I don't give a damn as long as someone I get new. All I want is eyes on the films. All I care
Right.
about is like getting my people out there, my cast and crew, more people seeing it. So like even if I get on like Tubi, I don't care if I make no money on the film. I just want to get exposure for it and more people watch AMH and then more
Yeah.
people keep coming back to see more. That's all I really want.
Yes.
The money
And
thing's
And that's what we want
always
for you.
last for me. I really
We want
money's
people
awesome
to
to
see the
have to make
films.
better films, but
I
I
want
need the
people to go
exposure.
out there and look for your films and watch them because they're
I mean, I
creative,
plan on
they're unique.
from it tonight's what I'm telling my wife right now. I think she's behind me. It's gonna be all your films, so they better be wild and crazy because I'm just gonna let the Troma run. Do like a
That'd be cool.
marathon of all your films that I can find on there.
That'd be cool stuff.
But
Yeah.
I see, but I'm with you on that because it becomes such a project that yes, the money is great, but it's also be realistic. If you had more
Money
money,
just
would
goes back
probably
into the
most
film.
likely go back into the film to get
Exactly.
more better actors, bigger names, more blood, more guts, more whatever you want, and that's what it would end up doing because it becomes such a passion.
Yeah.
It's not like you're gonna make it and quit and be like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna quit this movie now. I'm gonna go buy a fancy car and move off. It's like,
Yeah.
no, it's going into the movie to become even bigger.
I don't see you ever being that kind of person. I see you
Oh
being the
no,
kind of
no.
person that if you ever did hit it big, definitely that's gonna trickle down in the economy.
Well, if I hit
people.
it big, all my people are coming with
All
me.
your people are
will.
coming with you. I know it. So like, because you have quite the team of.
Well, see, you're good in this. Well, you're already
Fantastic.
a makeup artist, so you're going. You're moving to Hollywood.
Hell yeah.
You're good.
We're going, baby.
Except,
We're going to
except
Hollywood.
they're gonna make
someday.
you do the clown
It's gonna
makeup.
happen.
That's gonna
Baby
be the
steps.
worst if you have to make up the clown.
I'll have to deal with that. I've had to do makeup on clowns before at haunted houses. I deal with it. I do them and then I shoo them away. I'm like, good.
You make them
terrified
look
me.
goofy so you're not scared. Don't lie.
No, I try and make them look good and scary because it's my job to do so, and I'm very committed to my art. And it's not anyone else's fault that I have this phobia. And as long as I get to see somebody's bare face before, like with Matthew, for example, I've seen his bare face. So seeing him in his jester makeup doesn't bother me half as much as not having seen his. I can imagine what his bare face looks like underneath.
Well, the
And I know
scariest
that
clown's got
this
the
is
same
Matthew.
face.
And
There
he
is
doesn't.
no
He doesn't
makeup.
actually. His clown doesn't terrify me until he puts on that stupid red nose, and then the red nose just that puts it over the top. Then I'm like, okay, you go over there.
So that like National Red Nose Day must be just a hell of a day. You stay home that day, don't you?
No, I come to work. I'm very dedicated. I show up. I do my job. I'm very committed. I do my best work, and I come in and I do it. Regardless, clowns or no clowns, I come in. We filmed full sets where we had to have makeup on standby outside of a clown room, and there's these giant animatronic clowns at Factory Fear.
Yeah,
they're
it's
huge,
funny.
huge.
And I will
be
say
honest.
for the premiere also, I won't be going to it. I'm having Joseph go in my place for that night, so I won't be there.
I'll have to deal with this clown.
See, I'll be honest with you though, the scariest clown you'll ever see, the scariest clown you're ever gonna see in cinema is probably the clown doctor in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh, I don't like clowns that look like birthday clowns. The more it looks like a birthday clown, the more horrifying it is to me. So when you move away from that and you move towards jesters and mimes, I'm like, that's okay.
Then you get into the juggalo realm and then you just start partying with them.
Juggalos are just they're a whole nother topic. That's a whole other topic for another night. Juggalos are some other breed of clown. I don't even think all clowns accept juggalos.
That is true, but not all juggalos accept all clowns either.
Same. I think they're not mutually exclusive at all.
But I like the idea of this. Even like I said, I've seen the scenes with the jester and stuff, and I like that as a character. I think it does bring creepiness to it because
does.
clowns do scare people. It is
Mhm.
a fact. That's why there was all those
He's
clown
just
fights
trying
back
to
in the
make
day.
a girl
Scared people.
happy, damn it.
Yeah, I know. That's
Every
why
time.
a big thing that a lot of the questions from the part one is basically why doesn't he like being called a clown also, which luckily in part two is his whole backstory, and we figure out why he hates being called a clown also and all that stuff. And
Mhm.
it's basically just how he became the evil
I
jester.
sat
So
in on
it's gonna
filming
explain everything basically from
for
part one.
that
Any
backstory,
questions? Yeah.
and it's super intense and very emotional. The filming of it was, I can't imagine how well it's going to come across on screen. It's because
So you
being
saw it
there,
behind the scene, watching
She
it from.
I
she
watched it being
she
filmed.
saw two of the parts for the flashback, and then the big
Yeah,
flashback is like at the freak show at the sideshow event
which I
where
didn't
he's like
see
a human,
because
but that's where it's like all it starts, and then it trickles down to what happens when he gets home, and then it trickles down to who he meets, and then it's all madness happens after that.
yeah, I saw something that was very disturbing and traumatizing. So you guys get to watch that. Enjoy.
And I did all my own
I'm
stunts, so it did hurt a little bit because if I'm gonna get hit on a film, I'll get hit on a film. I don't care.
Yeah, I watched him get beat. I watched an assault take place and I was like, that's really happening. Like he's getting assaulted and we're just watching,
Yep.
guys.
I like it. I like it to be only. I like it to be real. So if there's like stuff involved, I don't have like other actors do like the danger,
He
hurting
does
stuff.
his
So
own
like
stunts.
I've been whipped before. I had someone else get hurt, but I just put on their clothes and did it for them. So I mean, the whipping was probably the worst because we had a real whip hitting my back for that one. But I mean, I've been smacked a couple times, hit. I've almost died
One
twice
of
on
these one of these
stuff.
films we're gonna taser you just for.
How'd you almost die twice? What did they do to you?
Not them. It was more so like a me thing. So like the one time where we found like a very old 60s 70s TV like garbage picking, and we're like, oh, we need to film something with this old TV, and it was like out in the rain and stuff. So as soon as I plug it in and turn it on, you hear a loud static, and it's louder and it gets brighter and louder, like it's gonna freaking explode on you. Everyone left the room, but I'm just unplugging it right away. And then a dumbass like me decided to see what it was like to when you're blowing up balloons with the helium tank. Just put the helium tank in up your just straight from the helium tank, and my whole went up from that.
So you did a whip it real
Oh,
fast.
Yeah.
oh, damn.
Yeah, we had,
Yeah.
at the first like actual short film for MMH, we had like this workbench with all these like tools hanging and stuff, and the girl was like scared that was gonna hurt her. I'm thinking none of these are gonna hit you. They're way over here, or whatever. But for the scene, I said get a close up of her face real quick. So I put the camera by her face, and this is like back when like earlier on high school. So I brought one of the bow saws and I just brought it right down to her face. And in the shot, you just see her just full on crying in the scene. And I was like, I'm not gonna hurt you at all. But
Ah,
as soon as she said
but
that, I said, let me just do that real quick. Oh, it was just coming down.
she
She
got
flipped
real
out.
tears. Hey, for the
And
art,
I was
man.
like,
It was
I,
for
I
the
told her, I
art.
was like, I mean, everything was. Oh, the other thing, I I used to do stuff like by myself filming. So like just me playing different parts with the camcorder. So I'm sitting on a workbench and I had the camcorder like at my eye, and I'm basically taking an actual working drill and I'm bringing the drill right down to my eye, and I can't see what it's doing, so I just pulled it right by the eye. But if I would have like lost my grip on the hand, my eye probably would have been gone.
That's
That
crazy.
film is awesome though. That came out pretty good.
The things we do for cinema, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh my god.
sometimes I'd
So
be trying to film these drive-in scenes, and like I'm literally viewing the road through the camera. I'm like hanging out the
should you
window,
be
using
admitting
my using my
that?
knee. No, I'm in a cemetery, so I'm not on the
It's
road.
okay. All the people are already dead.
They're already dead. I'm not gonna hit anybody.
I'm not gonna kill anyone. They're
No,
already
no,
dead.
but just if I was on the road though, I mean, I probably wouldn't be able to. But I'm like sitting, hanging out, and just like whatever, just freaking shooting, driving with your knee, and I can only imagine just because if we're doing it by ourselves, we have to do 3 or 4 roles. So sometimes with a cameraman, the damn sound guy, we're holding all this shit out of the
So
range of what the cam can see, and then you're doing all this other stuff.
this
It's
reminds me of the we had this gorgeous girls photo shoot out at Haunted Hydra when Haunted Hydra was doing photo shoots out there. And there's these 2 clown characters that come out there all the time for the photo shoots. Their name are Sicken and Scurvy. I don't know if you're familiar with Sicken and Scurvy, but they're really nice human beings underneath of that horrifying clown makeup. They always talk to me in their human voices. They don't use their clown voices, and they try to be. They understand my phobia because one of them is phobic. So they're always like, "We're going to try to make clowns approachable for you by exposing you to clowns." So we did a photo shoot together, and for the photo shoot, for the sake of the art, I let them abduct me and put clown makeup on me. And then we did this one photo where he's like this close to me because he's putting on the red nose. And I cocked back my hand to hit him because at that point
Really?
I was like, and the photographer grabs my fist and says, "Hold it," and takes a picture. And it's the real fear and real, like the face, the
So I was
image.
gonna say that's the only way to beat the phobia is to become
It's
a clown.
so intense because you can see that I'm absolutely fucking horrified and that I'm going to punch this clown, and you can tell that I'm going to punch this clown in the face. And the look of horror on this clown's face is like, because I'm cocked back and ready. And we captured that moment, and it was worth it for the photo. Plus, Sicken and Scurvy are like the coolest human beings. So right after they took their makeup off, we hung out, we ate, they're just people underneath there. I know, but fuck a bunch of clowns. It was scary, but we did it. I did my own stunt. I also set myself on fire at a photo shoot once on accident. I backed into some candles at a lit witch photo shoot. And our next guest tonight can tell us a little bit about that because he was there. And when I went, "I'm on fire. Someone quick, catch a picture. Witch on fire. Witch on fire." And then I'm like putting myself out because the hat and the wig were on fire.
Ah,
Lucky for me, I was wearing a hat.
you burned yourself at the stake. What are you
Yeah,
doing?
I
over
know, right?
Come on.
You don't have to. I'll do it myself. Thank
there?
you.
Be like, please. Oh man, I can't take anybody anywhere, huh? You're one of them people. You can't go anywhere. That's like my friend. We went to Pennsylvania. We did the whole trip. At the end, we stopped to get food. All of a sudden, he's all covered, all in red. I'm like, "What the hell happened?" He's like, "I squirted the ketchup too hard." I'm like, "How hard did you squirt?" It's like somebody cut you from head to toe. You got ketchup on your face.
It looks like a
everywhere.
massacre.
Like, what did you
It's a
do to it?
massacre.
Like I can't bring. Like if I might as well have brought my
Can't take you
son.
nowhere.
I might as well have brought the 7-year-old. At least he would have only given maybe one squirt. I don't know, but I was astonished at that too. But these are the memories you have. These are the things that happen in
Yeah.
horror.
It's so fun. I have such great memories. I went one time with Regal Vineyards Haunted Wineries makeup troupe to I went to Horror Hound, as a matter of fact. We went to Horror Hound, and I dressed up as a zombie, but I was a Regal Vineyards zombie, so I had grapes hanging out of my intestines, fake grapes.
Okay.
And we went into a Subway and we're eating, and my grapes fell off, and they're rolling across the floor. And I can't break character because I'm a zombie, so I'm like walking across the Subway, trying to get my grapes. Excuse me.
People there must have been like, "We're not
My
even
grapes are
paying
under your
nothing."
table. People were like, I was slaying it. It was so fun. I had such a good time. And this weekend when I went to Horror Hound, I got to do 3 characters. I got to do Freddy, which was really fun.
I saw that. I saw your photo ops for free.
Yes, that was really fun. The slash looked really raw. It was so awesome. All of the blood products I used this weekend stayed with like a wet look, so it was really cool. I like that. I'll have to tell you about that product. It is like actually handy somewhere near here. Yeah, there it is. It's Vampire Blood.
Ooh.
And it is by a company called You Can Be. It's not terribly expensive, but when it dries wet look.
It dries wet look, so it's always
And
looking
it
wet.
washes off with soap and water really well, so it
Well,
doesn't stain.
that's always a plus.
So yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of staining, but not enough to be significantly
Your
noticeable.
face
And I
is
wore it-
not red now, so
yeah,
that's good.
I wore it all day on Sunday. I was Carrie. I did Permablood wig, and Permablood, if you don't know, is a product that stays shiny and wet looking when it dries. So it's a very expensive product, but it's worth it for special effects.
What do you think is better now, the perma blood or the vampire blood? Because you said they both look wet.
Permablood is for clothing and like props, and
Yeah.
then the vampire blood's for your face for makeup.
For
I
your
wouldn't use
skin.
permablood on your face because that stuff's like paint. It's not coming off, but it dries so shiny that it stays like a wet look. So they did the dress, the white slip dress, and like the wet look blood, and the wig was like, and then I did the You Can Be blood on my face. Really, people were terrified to hug me. Normally at cons, when they see a character they love, they want to hug you, and they would stop and be like,
Yeah,
I'm like, it's okay, I'm dry.
I know we had the girl from Devil's Rejects, the one that had the guy's face on in the cornfield, like they killed her, and she was doing an in costume photo op. So a lot of people cosplayed her, and like so many great costumes. People just coming in bloody, wearing this like face, and it was just great to see. I actually got a photo of one of them, and they just did, like I said, amazing jobs with that. But I love seeing just people walking through a con dead. They're like covered in blood, just
Killing
another day
I
in
drove-
the office.
From Cincinnati to northern Ohio near Cleveland, covered in blood. Drove down the freeway that way. Stopped at gas stations, had to stop at a Dollar General, just walked in casually dripping with blood in my full Carrie costume. People were like, ma'am, a couple of them were like, are you okay? Some of them were like, what happened to you?
that's how it goes for us too. Because like when
Rough
we
day
did
at
like
the prom.
yeah, when we did the first Nightmares at the, I know, two of the scenes. One, after we shot at the Hydra, we had to stop at Walmart, so I went to Walmart dressed as Joseph, and then another time we went up to me, my cousin, and Troy, who's one of the characters too. We all went out to an all-you-can-eat buffet, and I was dressed as Joseph at the all-you-can-eat buffet. So I had a lot of looks at the buffet, but I've gone to a lot of different places still as the character because I just leave all the makeup on.
Yeah.
And I was driving
Makeup's
home.
so cool. You don't want to take it off. So you
Oh
just
yeah, I went to a Halloween store with Ron after we did like Pull Toy Shark Massacre. So I had like a full shark face going on, and everyone's just looking at us while we're buying more makeup and stuff. And we're like, yeah, we just shot this. That's him, and I'm just in
That's
full
so
gear
cool.
from the film still. So it
That is
doesn't
cool.
bother me.
Great
I've gone-
promotion.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
promotional.
Like people should be taking photos. This is what people do with our products.
Exactly. Exactly. It's it's always a promotional opportunity. Even at a Dollar General, I walk in covered in blood, and they're like, "What happened to you?" And I'm like, "Oh, this is from," and then I tell them what it's from, whatever I'm doing that day, and it's an opportunity to promote whatever you're doing to people you wouldn't otherwise get an opportunity to promote to because they're at work.
Yeah, for sure. Plus, it's just a way of getting people's attention. If you go up and start talking
so
to
fun.
somebody,
I
no
love
one's gonna
pulling up at
answer
a
you.
red light.
But if you
covered
go
in
up
blood.
and you're all covered in blood or whatever character, people come up to you.
I love pulling up at a red light covered in blood and looking over at the car next to me and just waiting for them to look over, and then they'll
Do that little double take. What's going on there?
roll their window up.
It's like
Yeah.
polite.
I one time got pulled over with a car full of props, and it had like mannequins and chopped up bodies and bloodied costumes and you name it in the back of my car. On my way home from my last night at Regal Vineyards, I worked as a costumer there, and I did props and other things too. And so I had all these mannequins, bloody mannequins in the back of this hatchback, and wet, bloody costumes because we had done the corn maze that night, and everybody's costumes were muddy and wet and bloody, and I had to take them all home to be laundered. I get pulled over, and he looks in the back with his light, and he's like, "Ma'am." I had to explain myself. He's like, "You're lucky it's in season," because I'm like, "Yeah, I'm lucky it is in season because there are times I'm driving around like this in July." It's not like we didn't get pulled over then. Try to explain. I'm working a haunted house, ma'am. It's July. I know, but we get started early. There is no end to horror.
Listen, there is some haunted
It is
houses
year
that go
round.
24 out, like all year round.
Well, and in the horror industry, it is year round. We don't just do horror at
Well,
Halloween.
I mean, we just went to horror cons last weekend, and it's what, March?
Absolutely. It doesn't end. It goes through the holidays and it carries on year round. That's a
That's why
lifestyle.
movies get released all year round too. It's not like, movies only
let
come
me
out in
ask you this,
October.
Matthew. It's a bit of a personal question, but I'm curious now. So, since you are such a horror fanatic yourself, does your home look like a horror fanatic's home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, right to my right, it's just the slim animatronic, the shorty animatronics in front of me. I have all the vintage masks on the wall. I have all the Puppet Master replicas. I have a bunch of stuff, and I keep all the props, costumes, and makeup stuff from every film. So if you
I
have
see
over,
another clown in the background too.
yeah, that's one.
No.
That's like a clown
Yeah.
jester wall,
Yeah.
like masks and stuff and different hats. Because when I did the first Nightmares, I just started buying a bunch of jester hats, and then I have like jester masks from the Vampire Masquerade. But when you do almost 300 films, you have a lot of props and costumes and makeup appliances. So
Build up a lot of stuff.
I have
We're visiting right now in my costume room. I have a whole room in my house dedicated to just costumes and makeup, because I've spent the last decade in horror, and you amass so much
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, yeah,
People come into my home and they go, "It looks like Morticia Adams grew up in here."
Just
Yeah,
in a
but-
year, I've amassed a whole collection of just stuff.
So, like, it's Halloween year round in your house.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then, like
Absolutely.
on the wall next to like the Nightmares 1 and 2 giant poster everyone signed, it's like
Yeah.
I have Misty's face, the Green Witch's face, the Lizard's face prosthetic. I have the White Witch's prosthetic pieces. I have a bunch of the props from the film because it's like my big baby. So I have all that stuff hanging up, but I have like makeup kits of like all the old appliances from over 200 films and everything. So I have everything still.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I bet you have quite the collection.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be weird someday when we're all old and we pass away and somebody has to go through all our weird stuff.
I plan to have a child to take over the company. That's for sure. And then I said, if I don't have an MMH museum, I want Bozo to be buried with me, or I'm going to haunt
I have
everyone.
one weird kid who will probably take a lot of my stuff. She wants to take my skin and make it into a jacket. So, I'm sure she'll take some of my other less weird stuff. So
Tommy will be wearing you, Zool. That's wild.
She wants to wear me. So,
Yeah.
and I don't think that's too weird.
No,
love your mom.
You're in Ohio. It's all normal.
Yeah.
Okay?
Normal here. Serial killer capital of the world, right outside of Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, it's just
But
when you'll be one party, you'll be a lampshade, the other a jacket. It's whatever it
it's
is.
cool. It's cool as long as they keep some of my other costumes and shit too, like normal stuff that they can wear to the store. You can't really wear your mom's skin jacket to the store.
Well, I don't know. They
Wants
could
to
say
get
they
my
were
room.
they could say it was just cosplay.
Yeah. Horror convention.
Hey, I work at a haunted house. They'll use your line.
Yeah.
Right. I work in a haunted house. That's why
I work in a haunted house. It's just
That's
part
why I
of my
wear
gig.
my mom's skin. So it's been really awesome talking to you, Matthew. I've always wanted to sit down and talk to you. And whenever we get an opportunity to hang out together, we're so busy, we don't have an opportunity to sit and talk.
Yeah.
So it's been really kick-ass getting to know you, getting to know some history behind your movies.
Yes. I'm going to definitely finish Nightmares 1 tonight. And Nightmares 2, you said, is coming out real soon. And then I'm sure
Yeah.
they'll have
Real
some
soon.
kind of streaming
But
date.
everybody, we're going to
Support.
put the link for the premiere in the
Yes.
comments, right? And then so everybody come to that premiere and check it
Yes.
out because it's going to be a killer.
Oh yeah, and then we definitely also, if anyone wants to be involved with it too, we have the Kickstarter open still too for like 30 days left to help donate. So if you want to get your name on a thank you credit,
send me that too.
okay, yeah, for sure.
So if anybody's out there who wants to help make people's movies dreams come true, you know, and you got money in your back pocket, just looking for something good to invest in, this man's got a dream a mile wide. So like he's
Yeah,
just
definitely
packed
send me
He's-
both.
Oh,
the
for sure.
unknown Stephen King of our generation and of our area. We just got to give him the opportunities to make all those visions come true. So
Well, like the Clive Barker, right?
Clive Barker, yeah, that's a better description. I just like
write
Stephen
and
better.
direct.
I like to be more like the future Lloyd Kaufman, Charles Band type of thing. Really,
You're
That's
going
more
with
my
that.
alley.
There you
You're already
go.
in Trauma. Have you,
yeah,
I
I've
forgot
been
you're
in.
traumatized.
I've helped out of trauma stuff, and I've helped on a full moon film. So that's two of my goals crossed off.
That's right up your alley. That is really
But
cool.
you know what? That's what made our childhoods great is Trauma and Full Moon. Without Puppet
Mhm.
Masters, we wouldn't even be able to watch her. That was the one movie I could be like, well, they're just toys, Mom. There's nothing gonna bad in a movie with toys.
Yeah.
Sure. Nothing bad ever happens in movies with toys.
No,
Shut up.
never. Well, thank you very much for coming on, and
Oh, yeah,
thank
thank
you
you.
everybody at home for watching. And as always, support some indie film. Get out there, check
Yeah.
things out. Check out your local indie scene if you're not from Ohio or wherever you are. See what directors and producers are putting out there. Go to some premieres. Check it out. I do urge it because there's such an opportunity
And so many
to
things
A,
being
learn, but to
overlooked
see
that
great
are really
stuff that
great.
Well, I would say to
And
see great stuff that isn't like pushed.
Yeah.
Hollywood can do great things, but it has motives behind it. Independent directors do not. They want their stories out there, and sometimes they tell better stories because they don't have to be influenced.
right. Exactly.
I always say to it.
It's a
So
more pure art form. The
it
indie
is.
film industry is more pure. So it's great. Get out there, see some indie films. There's some really good stuff out there that's getting glossed over, and like for
Oh yeah.
for the preference of big name films that aren't doing so hot lately. So, while you're waiting for something good to come along, watch something else that's good.
Yes. Well, thank you, everybody. Stay spooky, and we will catch you soon. We're out.
Bye. Bye, Bozo.